with the tension set up right, that was a much better resawing experience. Although this wide board worked okay. However, this one, I think I probably pushed the last one just a little too fast and caused the blade to drift. But I got part of it done, and that's some more pieces for my student. I know he's going to need a lot more, but that's a start. And it was very frustrating because the lights in here are on a timer, and something's wrong with the timer because I turn it on and they go off within a minute at least. Light switch. Lights on. I walk over to get to the bandsaw. And there we go. And I really do want to get down into this room and start getting it set up for next year. That's the plan for next term once year 12 gone. But at the moment, all this stuff behind me, that cabinet, all that stuff going up there, that's all from Kappa, from the room across our little quad. I said they could put their stuff in here while they got new cabinetry put into that room. And they just haven't started moving the stuff back over. And I've seen them in there running classes. It's amazing how fast they got all this stuff over here, but just please take it back. I need to get in here to sort something out in this room. Because even though we didn't get a senior timber class again for next year, so there's going to be no year 11 or 12 timber, we did get a stage 5 timber. And if this room is ready, I'm probably inclined to put the stage 5 class down here and leave the other 2 workshops completely clear for year 7 and 8. We'll see. But anyway, I've got 8 minutes until the bell when I've got year 10. That's what this was for, one of my year 10 students. Only trouble is he needs to get to the laser. I don't know if any other staff are available to take him up to the laser. Yeah, I'll find out. Year 10, there's a big football match on. The majority of my boys in the class are in the football team, so I had 4 kids here today. There was the stuff that I'd resawn for one student. I got him to check whether we've got enough. He does, but I'll cut up some more so he's got a bit of variety for his jigsaw pieces. But I did come into here and try and tidy up a bit. So this is all scrap from the various rooms. I try and reuse as much as we possibly can. Got a little bit into the plywood, sorting that out, and our hardwood section. We've got this is mostly Moranti. This here is Tassie oak. This is a mixture of some Jarrah and some Sydney blue gum. This was European beech. One of the kids used some of that. We've got some long pieces of that left over. Some of the rosewood offcuts. So there's a lot of nice timber in here, but it's just what do you do with those random pieces that don't seem to be big enough for anything? But we'll think of something. Can always use them for turning. I've got a lot of little offcuts in here for pen turning and that sort of thing. So waste not, want not. All right. Anyway. I ordered some heavy shelving or heavy duty shelving for the trade school to try and rack up all of the timber that was slabbed up a couple of years ago, because it's just lying all over the floor at the moment. So I measured a space in the storeroom of the trade school, ordered some shelving, and it had to come up from Dandenong, Victoria, and they would only deliver it to a distribution centre, not directly to us. their distribution centre, one of them, is Eastern Creek, and I got the email this morning to say that it had arrived, and then just as I was getting ready to ring them, they rang me to organise or let me know it was there and when could I collect it. Hold on, class. The Eastern Creek Distribution Centre is only 20 minutes away, so I'm driving over. I asked them for the actual dimensions because they said it was half a cubic metre, and it'll fit in the back of the ute with the back down, so it'll hang out a bit, but it's not so big and bulky that it wouldn't fit in there at all. The only trouble is it's 175 kilos. They said they've got a forklift there to put it in the back of the truck. When I get to the other end, I'll have to find somebody to be able to help me just unload it into the trade school. Here I am, just waiting. Kind of funny and weird coming here, because this area where all these factories and distribution centres are used to be where Australia's Wonderland was, which was a theme park which was here with Hanna-Barbera Land and all that sort of stuff, and it was when I was a kid that it started, right along the freeway, and it was still open when I first started teaching, and I would bring kids on excursions to Australia's Wonderland. The last one might have been 2001, I can't remember when it shut down, but it was in like one of the years leading up to it shutting down, and so it's kind of surreal, because when you turn in off the main road, off Walgrove Road to come in here, you turn in on Wonderland Drive. But I'm just waiting at the customer pickup area. They know I'm here. So there's my load. It is not going anywhere. And this was my Jimmy DeResta strap. I got 3. One more will do. Second last day of term, and it looks like we're going out with the wet end. Last night was Year 12 graduation, and it's the first time we've done their graduation, I think, ever in the time that I've been at the school, in the evening. It's always been something that happened mid-morning, and then you have like a morning tea for all the parents and everybody who came, and then they leave. I know that it's been raised a few times in the past that it'd probably be better if we could have it after school, because there's probably a better chance of some families being able to make it. I know that not all families are working, but there are some that are working, and that people would probably like to come. That's the way we did it. It meant that it wasn't so hectic at school. The school could get things organised throughout the day. Kids got together, like the Year 12s got together in the afternoon to get their gowns and everything ready. They'd done their practice the day before. The hall could be set up with plenty of time. More staff could also go, because you didn't have to stay on class. If you're on class, you didn't have to try and do swaps around of classes. Like, I've missed a couple of graduations because I was either teaching year 10, year 11, whatever, at the same time. That was better to have it that way, so that it's like, it did seem like we had a lot more staff show up. Like all the staff who taught year 12, and some staff who didn't, and there was also staff who had taught them but had left the school, so they taught them when they were younger, and they came to the school for their graduation, and that made some of the kids feel fantastic because they saw their old maths teacher, all that sort of thing. So it was a really nice evening, and then they head out for the afternoon tea. There was food prepared by our hospitality class, and so there was all of that there, and there's kind of a natural close to the day because the sun goes down. So by somewhere between 5:30 and 6, everybody had cleared out. Regardless of how the kids have made you feel throughout the year or whenever, it's wonderful to see them graduate. More so to see the proud family, mums, dads, grandparents, aunts, uncles, and we've got the largest proportion of our school is Pacific Islander, and a lot of them have very large families, and it used to be that there was, you'd get the whole family come, and they've had to restrict it based on the number of students in the year group. So if we've got a really big year group, less people can come. If the year group's smaller, more people can come. And this year's year group, each student was allowed to have 4 guests, and they had tickets to come in. And as it turns out, there was many other family members who came and were out the front of the school and just waited till they came out of the graduation to really thank them and have photos taken and all of that. Our hall isn't that big, and it was full. One of my construction students had been talking over the last term about what he's really thinking, like what he thinks he wants to do, and he recently developed a passion for wanting to be in real estate. So much so that in his time outside school, he started doing some training, like online real estate agent training, and was telling me the progress of that. And then yesterday, I congratulated him on graduating, and I said, and soon enough we'll see your face on the billboards, because that's what he was saying, on sides of buses. And he said, it may be sooner than you realise, sir, because I just got a job with such and such an agent, and like I start in a week or two's time. And I was like, that's awesome news. He set himself a goal and went for it, and he got it. So he's maybe starting after the exams, I don't know. But that was like fantastic news, because he had really set himself that goal and was working towards it. I'm really proud of him. Being that I've been at the school for a long time, you often see past students come up. One guy came up to me and said g'day, and I kind of recognised his face, and it was more in the eyes. And I said, like, I recognise the face, but I can't put a name. So he gave me the surname, and I definitely recognised the surname, and I said, yep. And he goes, can you think of the first name? And I got it. His younger sister was graduating today. He left school, he said, in 2013, because he left in year 10 for an apprenticeship, and he's working in construction. 11 years later. Wow. As we said, he said he saw a number of staff who were still here. Yes, so there's a lot of us still here. He said, I can't believe how long it's been since I've been here. And I said, I can't believe how long it's been that I've been here. And it makes it even harder to try and remember everybody. Anyway, year 12 are finished. Year 11 are not at school at the moment because of the exams, and if they missed an exam, tomorrow is their catch-up day, but they have to put in an illness and misadventure form for missing out to get the approval. Yeah, you have to have a legitimate reason for why you weren't at the exam. As teachers, we had to call the homes and ask why, leave a message, explain the process. I've got 4 or 5 kids who didn't do the exam, and I haven't heard. Like, I've called home, I was only able to leave messages because there was no one answering their phones, nobody's come up. So apparently, I think there's only 3 or 4 students in the year group that have done the process properly, so they'll be doing their exams tomorrow. Today is kind of the last day to get all that process approved. So my kids could still come up. I rang the parents for some hospitality students who missed their exam on Friday. We'll see. Nice way to start the holidays. I checked the maps, there's an accident from the look of it up ahead because the traffic clears out again. But you might be just to be able to see the cars in between the trees over the other side of the train line. They're the people who got off the highway to see if they could get around this traffic congestion. And they're barely moving faster than us. Which is why I didn't bother. And I looked, I went, we've got to go through that. Yes, there's a road that goes up and around. And according to the maps, you possibly pop out back onto the highway just after where the traffic seems to be stopped. But yeah, you've got to be able to get back out. Sometimes it's easier just to go with the flow. You'll still get where you want to go. Just a little slower. Yeah, judging from the maps, it's right at an intersection where it seems to stop. So there may have been an accident. I'll find out because it's not too far ahead. First day of the holidays. Nice lazy morning, as much as I could, because the next door neighbour is cutting out a couple of the willow trees that are in his backyard. Willows are considered a noxious weed in areas of the Blue Mountains, especially where we are, because we're above a watercourse, and once you get willows down in there, they'll just sort of clog stuff. So he got permission to slowly remove those, and he had these 2 big ones in his backyard, and he has
contracted some people to come and chop them down and mulch them up. So that started at about 8:20 this morning. Woke my wife up. All sorts of noise. But as I was leaving and sort of had a look down, he's really improved the view for his house from the back. In the same vein, clearing his yard to actually make it usable. Last weekend, he had a mate come in with a big, one of those excavators, like not super big, but bigger than the one that I've used in the past. And he just ripped out the bamboo from the ground, like all the dead bamboo roots and stumps that were there. He was just ripping them out and scraping out the ground and making it sort of level-ish. And I don't know how he's going to get rid of that stuff, but because he can't go through the mulcher. But all that willow and everything that just went through the mulcher, and it looked like they basically, you know, leaving some of the mulch for him, I think. Not really sure. I'm heading down to Parramatta to meet up with my older brother. He lives up the far north central coast area. I have to say north coast. I think of central coast as Gosford and the lakes and this sort of stuff, and he's a lot further north than that, like above Newcastle. Anyway, he and his wife have come down into Sydney. She's got something on over the weekend, and he said, let's catch up, because we rarely can. I'm here and working, and he's right up there. And it's like meeting up at Parramatta, Tollgate Hotel, which I'm sure there's a story behind that based on where it is in Parramatta. It's nearby Lake Parramatta, which I thought we could go and hang out at after getting some lunch. See what the weather's like. It's meant to be just cloudy and chilly, but no rain. The rest of our holidays is basically booked up with appointments to try and get them all done as much as you can when you're not on work. Batman's follow-up is on Monday. Sam has an appointment to have an MRI done to see if they can figure out what could be possibly causing his seizures. I've got my neck injection scheduled for this coming week. It just seems that there's all this stuff, and that's just sometimes the way you've got to do it, so that you don't just end up using all your sick leave. I've used up a lot of it. It's there to use. If you've got to use it, you use it.